Here with Marty. Man United won, Arsenal won. Disappointing result. How did you see the game in terms of the overall perspective?
Exactly as you just said it, disappointing. There's no other way to break it down other than this is probably the worst Manchester United side that I've seen potentially in my lifetime, bar the side of '86, which wasn't that clever at all. And I'll tell you what, 20 years ago, going to Old Trafford and getting a 1-1, I would have taken that at times in the season. But today, they were there for the taking. And this, we are letting Liverpool win this league at a canter. They haven't even got into fourth gear probably, or third gear. They are miles ahead, 15 points. 15 points, that's 5 wins. And there were times in that game today, look, initially how we set out, we started, I thought, it wasn't that bad. Calafiori on for Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think that cost us, I really do. And then obviously the free kick incident, Trossard gives the free kick away in a dangerous area. And Raya, for me, listen, I'm a huge fan of Raya. I think he's awesome. And after this, he had an awesome game and he saved us. And he stands there and he says, listen, stick the ball over here, stick it in the top corner, and you're going to have to beat me. And the wall being that far back, I think, it was like over 10 yards, not making excuses. And Bruno Fernandes gets it up and over the wall and gets it on target. And that's enough to beat David Raya. And David Raya has been phenomenal this season, but I just think he got that wrong. And it's in the back of the net. And, this Manchester United, I think when they go in at half-time in the lead, I don't think they've ever lost a game. And it's going to be an uphill battle, even with this Manchester United side. And then, David Raya, makes some fantastic saves. And it's... that one with the leg, that's in the back of the net. Against the run of play, and the same old problems are rearing their ugly head in the way that we cannot break down teams. We can't find, we haven't got another system to play. When he changes Marino, takes Wanyeri off,
Was that a bit premature? Because I thought it was, to be honest.
Definitely. Wanyeri, for me, is a player that can change a game in a heartbeat. He can turn this tie on its head hugely. Then when Marino got put into the midfield, into the 8, he just looked at sea and he made a couple of errors. There was one where he sort of, listen, he has been good for us at times this season. I just think those changes... he got it wrong. Declan Rice, wow, what a goal. What a finish. And I love him standing on the edge of the area and shouting, screaming for the ball. He finds himself in acres of space where Manchester United, I think, have 9-10 players behind the ball, all in the wrong positions. And they leave Declan Rice unmarked on the edge of the box and he punishes them, with a fantastic finish, posting in, no goalkeepers getting that. And that was probably the highlight. At the end, this, we pressed them and we camped out in their final third of the pitch, but we just at times couldn't find a way through because we want to take that extra touch. We want to score that perfect goal. It sometimes takes me back to Wenger's years where we just we want to pass it into the back of the net, or we struggle with 10 players in front of us to find a way through. And sometimes you just need to take a chance. You just need to beat a man. And then when we did, the game opens up. And with the goal with Timber, he finds a way through. And when you take those chances, you score goals. It's a largely disappointing result when you consider, this where this Manchester United, they were 15th in the table. We're second in the table, and the only thing that you think now is, okay, Champions League. But I'll tell you what, if we go to, a Madrid, because we are going to be going, well, unless we ship 6 goals on Wednesday, which I'd like to say is highly unlikely, but we go to Madrid and play like that. The difference between one of those Madrid teams is where Manchester United couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, Madrid will. Yeah. And you end up going there and getting spanked. And
is there an argument for saying, especially if we play Real Madrid, that they will be more attacking than, say, a Man United, certainly more than a Man United team were today? So that might give us more of a chance. Whereas Atletico, They'll be a bit more like United in terms that they will be a bit more defensive minded. But against some more attacking teams, do you think Arsenal might be able to get some change out of that?
Yeah, definitely. I understand that theory that generally when teams play football against us and they don't sit with, 11 men behind the ball and let us attack them, it's this, blueprint to playing Arsenal Football Club at the moment, because he doesn't have another system to find to unlock these teams. That I think the truth and the cold hard truth and reality of this situation is those teams will open you up and spank you. You don't be naive about these Madrid teams. They are serious outfits, and that Manchester United side is a shell of. Listen, I'm not disrespecting Manchester United as a football. I really do rate Manchester United as a football club. I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect for Manchester United, Liverpool. They're huge clubs. I really have, genuinely. And some of the stuff that's going on at Manchester United, I've never seen it, and it's like. I don't know what is. Well, I have an idea of what's happening there. That the club is in a mess. It's nowhere near the powerhouse that it was years ago. And Ruben Amorim has got a serious rebuilding job. I think it's going to take him numerous 6 transfer windows to strip this team out and to rebuild it, because they are nowhere near where they need to be. But it's a completely different proposition to Champions League and real high-level opponents. 20 years ago, Manchester United were, and that Manchester United side today would have taken us apart. But going to Madrid, or and you don't want to end up being in a situation like we were years ago, and being embarrassed in the Champions League. I think that Arteta really needs to have a look at these situations and find a way to break these teams down game after game. It's disappointing.
No, I would agree with that. Do you think that the game against PSV on Wednesday gives him an opportunity to try out some players on the fringe of the side and maybe try and change up some tactics or try some different looks, see how that goes? Definitely.
If you don't do that in a game like that, then you've got some serious issues. You're 7-1 up. Yeah. So, you've... As long as you don't put a side of 15-year-olds or 12-year-olds out that are going to get turned up, that are going to concede 6 goals, I think you like to say he's got enough tactical nous to not do that. Yeah, change it up. Try something different. Use that as a training exercise. You're 7-1 up. That's a gift. Yeah. You're never going to be in that situation, I don't think, again this season. You've got to try something. You've got to find a way. You've got to be able to switch it up in games, find a different system, and be able to hurt teams, because we have got talent. We've got talent there, but for some reason, when we need to step up, that's the frustrating thing, is not even challenging Liverpool for this title. That's what I'm disappointed at. And games like this is putting Manchester United into bed. We had a great opportunity to really, put them in their place, if I'm honest with you, and we didn't take that opportunity.
Okay, Marty, well said. Thanks, mate.
Thank you, man.
Respect.